this decimal number in fraction. The decimal number is 0.479. We're writing this 0.479 in fraction. Now we will end up with several answers. Let's look at the first one. So one here, we've got a 0.479. We put a division sign under it and we put a 1. Once we do this, we have turned this decimal number into a fraction just by adding a 1. So we just added a 1 there and we're done. So that is that. But I will say that this is a very simple answer. So you will not see this in your options. If you're given options, you're told to pick one out of A, B, C, D. This one will not appear because everybody should know this. So good. Let's look at another answer to this. Let's wipe this off. Okay, let's go for the second one. Now, second one here. So we're still going to have a 0.479. We know that by just adding a 1, you've made it a fraction, but we're not going to stop there. So now, what we can do is we can change the location of this decimal point. So if you want to change the location of that decimal point, you just multiply by 10. Oh, just multiply this by 10. So that's the one for the one at the top. That is the numerator, and the denominator, which is the one at the bottom here. You have to multiply this also by 10. Okay, once you do that, then it is balanced. If you multiply the one on top, numerator, by 10, and you do not multiply the one at the bottom by 10, there's going to be trouble. So you have to multiply both the one on top and the one at the bottom. The numerator and the denominator must be multiplied by the same value, or else it's not going to work. Okay, let's just tie up. And then what do we get? Okay, wait a minute. Let's put this highlighter there. Let's remove this. And then let's see where this will go. This decimal point will move. Good. So when we divide that by 10, what do you get? You get what? You get a 4.79 all over 10. Beautiful. That's acceptable. Good. So we just changed 0.479 into a fraction by multiplying it by 10, numerator by 10, denominator by 10, and we get that. So that will be one of the options. Good. Now let's look at the next option. Okay, this is going to be the third one here. So we have 0.479 all over 1. Now we want to change the location of this here. This here. Good. Let's just put a highlight also. We want to move it. So we want to move it to the right. And that means we will have to multiply the numerator and denominator. Denominator, the one at the bottom. Numerator, the one at the top. And then multiply them by, this time is going to be 100. 2 zeros. 2 zeros, 100. And that means that decimal point is going to move 2 places to the right. Okay. So we've done that to the top. We have to do that to the bottom. Denominator. 100, or else it's not going to work. Good. So what do we have? So 0. Oh, this looks confusing. Let's just remove the circle there. So let's just put the highlighter alone. Good. Now this is much better. Okay. First of all, let's make this one a bit bold, and then now it looks better. Good. Now you're going to move that decimal point 2 places. Why? Because you're multiplied by 100. So it's going to move 2 places to the right. And remember, this one here was multiplied by 10, 1, 0. So we could see that the decimal point moved from here. It moves there. And that's what we have here. Good. Okay. Now let's go back to the question. And this time, what do we get? So 0.479 multiplied by 100 should give us 47.9 all over 100. We could see that our decimal point has moved 2 places to the right. Now, what if we want to move the decimal point 3 places to the right? Oh, that means we multiply by 1000, because 1000 has got 3 zeros. Beautiful. Good. Let's go. So this is going to be the fruit attempt here. It's going to give us another answer. We have 0.479 all over 1. You want to move that decimal point 3 places to the right. So that is going to be times 1,000. Okay, multiplied by 1,000. 1,000's got 3 zeros. So that means the decimal point will move 3 places. Beautiful. Numerator and denominator must also be multiplied by the same figure, 1,000. And what do we get? We get 0.479 times 1,000. That will give us what? 479. The point is right there. This shows move 3 places. All over what? 1,000. Good. But if you leave your decimal point there, that means you really don't know what you're doing, because that decimal point is supposed to be there. It looks really awkward, really, really odd. So you're not supposed to have that. So that decimal point is not supposed to exist because there is nothing after the decimal point. So the decimal point can't just be there when there is no number behind it. There are no numbers behind it. So the decimal point is useless. So therefore, your final answer here shouldn't have a decimal point. You have your 479 all over 1,000. Good. And let's just remove the x's there. So the first one goes away because there are no numbers there, and this one goes away. And let's remove this arrow, and let's leave the decimal point there with the highlighter so that when you see it, you remember that it's not supposed to be there. And this brings us to the end of this question. So the first one here, we just added what? We just added a 1, so that is sorted there. The second one, we multiply by 10, and that gave us what? That gave us 4.79 over 10. That's the second one here. And the third one, what did we do? We multiplied by 100. So we could see that decimal point moved 2 places to the right. Now it's in between 7 and 9. Beautiful. And then the third one, we multiplied by 1,000. The decimal point moved 3 places to the right. And after it moved, we don't have to leave the decimal point there because there are no numbers after the decimal point. And if you leave the decimal point there, then it's going to look odd. And we don't want it to look odd. We don't want to look bushy. So therefore, we need to remove it. And that leaves us what? It gives us 479 over 1,000. So that brings us to the end of this question. Beautiful.